Get a little bit fraught now, but all 5 lights now lit, and it is pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go in the sprint race, and Zafso getting off the line, not necessarily the best, because Gwatz has come in through towards turn 1. Gwatz now leads here at Los Sales. Zafso getting mixed up, almost getting swallowed up through the first sector now. Matty D13 at the head of the order, Infratic down in third. Mr. Dale just literally watching everything unfold right in front of him here, had a very successful time in F2 last season and has already come back fighting here at Qatar, here in F1 as well here, Dan.
Absolutely, it's been a frenetic first lap so far. You can see here a little bit of a look to the inside from Meraki, and he's actually done that to try and cover off against Rasin Chai, who's suddenly appeared on the inside. I don't know if that was as much of a shock for Jake as it was for everybody else. At the back there's been a big incident at the back involving both the Red Bulls. You've got Zafso in there too. You've got Be Good in the Alpine that is often occupied by Tom, but not this weekend.
And Mr. Dale, a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, retires from the session. It goes from bad to worse.
On-track observation, the cars roll around quite so much through the corners, but there we go. As they come into turn number 1 then, we've got Noiguera now sending it round the outside of Gwatz, trying to keep their Mercedes ahead of the McLaren, and so far that has worked for them. It is them up to third place now, and Infratic into second, just behind of Matty D.
Tom 97 still right in the mix of all this and is currently hovering all the way back in fifth, just behind Gwatz in his McLaren down the inside as they come through this next right-hander. Still though they'll run wheel to wheel. Gwatz trying to force the entry back through past the RB, but Tom 97, victor last time out in round 2. He is now up to 4th and 1 step away from a sprint podium. Yeah, Noiguera very loose on the rear here, and Tom 97 just waiting for his chance, ready to pick his spot, flashing on the rear as well of the Mercedes. Certainly displays the fact that he has run out of ERS, which will allow Tom to open up the overtake. He'll open up the door, make a move down the inside as they head through this next right-hander before venturing out of turn 16, down the long straight. Tom 97 now on the podium, and F1 Scott following through as he did against Gwatz only, well, a lap or 2 ago. Scott now moves up into 4th, Tom 97 up to 3rd, the front 2 in danger. Infratic all over the back of Matty D13. But how long before Tom 97 joins them in a battle for the race lead here in the sprint?
Absolutely, and Meraki out of the race then, having retired from this one, I imagine in a similar vein as to what we saw with Dale earlier on, just a driver who's not had the best of luck so far in this race, and so they've ultimately decided to pack it in for a bit of extra practice time.
Still at this moment in time, Matty D13 who breaks into the pit lane side in Infratic with the truly insane straight line speed. He's going to be met toe for toe though by Tom 97. Both cars moving above Matty D13. Infratic now leads here at Qatar. In second place, Tom 97 with Matty D13 down to 3rd. F1 Scott looking to pick his spot to potentially join this battle for the lead as well. As now we see them go side by side near enough. Tom having to back out of it. Infratic still in charge. The prancing horse Hales at the front in this race. Now once again we're going wheel to wheel. In fact they're going 2 by 2. Noah's Ark for all the positions heading down through towards P8, and now it's Tom 97 who leads. Look at F1 Scott with a fantastic overtake on Matty D13 as well, but Matty coming straight back at him through sector 1. Infratic has lost the lead to Tom 97. F1 Scott now in podium contention. Currently sat in 8th place. Matty D13 forfeiting the lead not too long ago. F1 Scott now looking to challenge Infratic for 2nd place as Tom 97 takes the fastest lap so far. In comes now Matty D13 bidding to launch himself back onto the podium again here in the sprint, but Infratic, he's very stubborn. We all know that, how much of a competitor he truly is. That is why Ferrari were champions last season in terms of the constructors, but Matty able to batter him down and take that P3 back. But still, a lot of work needs to be done to close up to F1 Scott, who has actually lost DRS and has received a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him in his quest to beating Tom 97. 4 different drivers sustaining penalties in this race. Matty D13 takes back 2nd from F1 Scott. He's had a fabulous race as young Matty, as Gwatz retires from the sprint.
Tom 97 is going to come across the line any moment now and take the win here in the sprint. It will then be Matty D in 2nd place, and that's regardless whether they finish 2nd on the road or not, because F1 Scott will not overhaul them with that time penalty. And so, yeah, it is Infratic on the podium, then Rasin Chai, then El Rey, Alex, F1 Scott, Peria, and then Noiguera just finishes outside the sprint race points in 9th place. So there we go.
At the very beginning, you can't wait around. Zafso retiring. Good lord.
Interesting.
Quite the shock. Not part of the plan, Dan?
Possibly not. I don't know. Did they even emerge on the circuit? I have no idea. If that's been a retirement in the pits, or if that's something where they've had an issue or something, I don't know.
Spanner in the works, especially those that are running fast laps on softs, as F1 Scott registers a 1:21.4. If they come into contact with a driver on intermediate tyres, I mean, that could essentially are wasting a compounded tyre, are you not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it could be that you end up them bailing out. That gives you a little bit more time to then, of course, get back into the pits and get round for another lap on a new set. But yeah, tripping over intermediate runners is definitely a possibility around here. You get around this lap very, very quickly. I mean, a 1:20 is already down towards the lower end of Formula One timescales, if you like. Not quite down at the bottom, of course. That would be where you see lap times like in Austria and other short circuits. Canada you could put there as well, where you're getting sort of 110s or even to the 1 and single digits as El Rey takes away that provisional pole from F1 Scott. I must say, given how quick we know El Rey Guri is, for Scott to be less than a tenth away, that shows just how quick they have been so far this weekend.
Fratic in fourth, JD Devil Noob fifth fastest, Meraki setting his time on intermediate tyres, GB running intermediate tyres alike, as is Tiamat Marduk. Meraki, I think, the fastest intermediate runner at this point in time, so will take the intermediate points should he bring it home. Tom 97 not wasting any time, goes to the top with a blisteringly quick 1:27.37. That's going to be tough to beat.
Because we are hearing that the rain is starting. You can see it already running down the bodywork of Guatz's McLaren.
Yeah, the rain is pouring. Guatz at this moment as we're running on board with him, trying to find as much grip as he can on his soft compounded tyres. 1:22.3 is what he managed to register before and has had to back out of it regardless, just can't quite find the time. And Tom 97 retiring, no question, he will be on pole. I can't see anyone usurping that 1:27.37. And Mr. Dale has spun as well off the circuit. There you can see him on the right-hand side. GB68 has also been disqualified as well for going the wrong way. So surely that has decided it. Tom 97 on top. Oh, big crash there. Meraki losing it and front wing gone. Meraki, unfortunately, well, having damage at a very sensitive point in qualifying. Let's take you through the short qualifying results then. Tom 97 on pole position, being met by El Rey Guri on the front row, the Spaniard, the championship leader at this point, starting from second. Alex Gillen in third place with F1 Scott in fourth. Rasin Chai in fifth place with Noiguera in sixth. Peya in seventh, in Fratic in eighth. Beagard in ninth. We then have JD Devil Noob in 10th. Rikiri Khan down in 11th place. We then have Guatz in 12th. Matty D13 in 13th. Jack Socials in his first race. He'll be starting 14th place. We did not get a chance to even read the rest of that, but nonetheless, you've seen a lot of it. We have a race, folks. 5 lights are indeed lit. Without any shadow of a doubt, it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Great start from Tom 97 and El Rey Guri. Tom 97, though, blasting away out in front. He's clear, heading through turn 1. Alex Gillen, though, is going to run wheel to wheel with El Rey Guri. El Rey with enough, yet the Tiger line coming through turn 1. And now Alex Gillen under pressure from the 2 Ferraris, as well as the Mercedes of Noiguera in behind 2 as they now run down through the first sector. It is Tom 97 who leads, but look at this in Fratic. He's going to try and go around the outside of Noiguera. He can't, surely, and leaves the door open for JD Devil Noob, who runs on through in Fratic, displaced down to 8th. Devil Noob, I tell you what, he's on fire. He's trying to now pitch himself past Noiguera in a battle for 6. Can't quite find it. The Devil can't speak. He stays behind in 7th place, but it's Tom 97th who leads here at Qatar. At the head of the order, but that is going to be put under threat now because of the straight line speed on offer here from the Aston Martin as in comes El Rey Guri, and he's not alone. He's bringing along Alex Gillen. A double change up at the front end with El Rey now taking the lead. Alex Gillen, the former champion, in second. Tom 97 forced to give way.
And GB's out.
Third. GB's out.
GB's out. I don't know what's ended up happening there. Hopefully we're going to get an update on that from TK in the not too distant future, but GB is out and has left the session. Could that be some starting drama there that has then caused them to just go ahead and quit the game, or has it been an incident somewhere? I'm going to hazard a guess that from the lack of yellow flags, there's not been any sort of retirement on track or anything. I think they have retired in the pit lane, and yes, that is the case.
at the very start of the lap, heading through towards turn 1, managing to get past. He'll now have his own chance at taking the lead. Has also taken the fastest lap, if only briefly, but down the inside comes Top 97. He's going to try and take the pair as well. 3 wide through turn 1. El Rey Guri is going to try and hang it around the outside, but Top 97, fabulous move, has dislodged the pair of them and now leads the race once again, as he did on the opening lap. The gap between Rasin Chai and Alex Gillen is now stretched to 6.4 seconds. As now we see Devil Noob with a chance here. Scott also with a chance is going to try and overtake his teammate, as well as Infratic. He's done it through turn 1 and in sector 1 as well.
Whoa!
Collision though. Oh goodness me. Devil Noob coming into contact with Fabio and has lost the car altogether. I mean, if you're F1 Scott, very smart decision to make the move when you did, because surely you would have been collected, and a safety car has been called out onto the track.
How long the tyres will last around this circuit with the new handling model and everything else that goes into it. You can see there, Tom 97 almost being overtaken by Alex Gillen into the pits. I mean, yes, it's technically allowed, but I mean, if you're both going full speed into the pits, why bother? That's not going to do anything for you. So, yeah, just one of those things. But, yeah, as we go on then, that's hard tyres for both and no change in position. So, yeah, El Rey, Rasin likely both going to be in, and they are, but Rasin, oddly enough, going onto a set of mediums at this stage. So, medium for Rasin Chai. Interesting strategy call there from them.
It's going to come down to him to try and usher in himself, leading the race, coming out of turn 1, and now as they make their way towards the line, it's pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now, and Tom 97 getting a lovely launch. Alex Gillen unable to find any momentum to challenge. We've got some wheel-to-wheel stuff now happening between Matty D13 and F1 Scott. Matty hanging it around the outside at turn 1 as the Haas looks to try and challenge the King Sauber. Has it managed to get past? I think it might have. It certainly has, and enter Curbs into the fight too. The Williams running wheel-to-wheel with F1 Scott coming through sector 1 in towards sector 2, and those in front for the team from Grove. But can they hold on as they still run wheel to wheel? Still coming through sector 2 this time. Curbs with the overspeed. He'll have the Tiger line through the next left-hander, and he's got the job done. Scott losing 2 places and the race restart.
We've got Infratic here in the middle of that pack too, just tucked up behind their former team. Whoa, behind their former teammate. Now have gone to the side of their former teammate with a far too ambitious move. There's been something else that's happened there from all the cars who've come through, not knowing where to go, with Fabio sitting sideways on the circuit there. So yeah, that was a rapid arrival and a rapid disassembly on the circuit for an awful lot of cars. Safso gets a 3-second time penalty there, and all manner of things have just happened, and I suspect we're going to see an awful lot of replays of that in the not too distant future. DRS has been enabled, of course. They won't have it down the start-finish straight this time. The detection point is too far back, so it'll be the next lap down the start-finish straight is when we'll start to see DRS actually being used, even if it is available now. But down the start-finish straight, it's going to be maybe a bit less brave and a bit more procedural now for Rasin Chai, as on the medium tyres with DRS, they go by Tom 97 at the head of the field and disappear. Now Noiguera's gotten themselves back ahead of Curbs here, and Curbs now having to defend from F1 Scott. We're now seeing the pit building instead of, there we go, now we can see the cars once again. He manages to shuffle F1 Scott out to the outside, onto the dirty stuff, onto the marbles, everything else.
Still trying to give chase. Tom 97 down in second. Has actually lost DRS to Rasin China. That's a concern, and that will open the door for Alex Gillen, who's going to run wheel to wheel. A little moment for Tom 97 as well. A lack of grip, a little twitch from the car, but is that him trying to get DRS for the long straight? Let's wait and see as they now rush down. No, he doesn't get it, so now he's fodder for El Rey Guri in behind.
So Tom has disconnected apparently. That is what we're being told in our behind-the-scenes chat here. Noiguera has been overtaken by F1 Scott. Does that manage to be held though? Is that going to be a move that sticks? It will be. Well done to Scott to get that move done.
On his part for the Williams driver, as now we see Matty D13, who's had a great drive again. This time in the feature race, he's gone down the inside of El Rey Guri and moves up into third. Haas in second and third here at the Losail circuit, the Qatar Grand Prix.
The Williams of Curbs stuck to the back of Tom 97's AI at this stage. And you can tell it's an AI because it's now 2.8 seconds, 2.9 seconds back from the cars in front, and it's about to be overtaken by not one, but 2 cars down this start-finish straight. First comes Curbs, then will come F1 Scott, and as they go down to turn number 1, is there enough there in the tank for F1 Scott to get the move done a second time? No, not on this occasion. As it is though, down the start-finish straight, here goes Tiamat Marduk. They get by the V-carb of Tom97, their AI desperately trying to defend as now 2 more cars come by. That's 3 positions lost down the single start-finish straight. And that then is going to be absolute bedlam for Tom97 if they do manage to rejoin. And we're now being told that he cannot take control. So, unfortunately, a bug from the previous game has reared its ugly head, I should say. And it sort of makes me wonder why we don't have these things fixed from one title to another. But as it is, we've got that effectively as Tom97 out of the race then. If they were to rejoin again now, then if it's like the last game, it will end up retiring their car. Now they've left the session, so that is Tom97 out of the Qatar Grand Prix in all but name. Apparently, miraculously, Tom has control.
There we have it. Tom97 back in the game, back in the car. Let's see what he can dig up, because we still have a fair portion of this race still to go. Still opportunities on the table. Pit stops to be made. Yeah, Alex Gillen leads the race because Rasin Chai has come into the pit. So El Rey now moves up to second. Matty D into third. Hard tyres have been placed on Rasin Chai's car. So he's bailed off those mediums. The mediums obviously coming to an end. So now's the time for the hards to strike to try and... well, to almost try and negate the undercut.
Oh!
Oh, Rasin! That's on
No, they won't
tyres.
be. They won't
be. No, they won't have to. It immediately destroyed my point. I was just about to say that they would come into the pits to obviously negate the undercut that Rasin would have brought to the table. They don't necessarily need to worry about that now.
Oh dear, 10-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane from Meraki, and he's also retired from the race. That's a bit of a rage quit there then, I assume. To be fair to Jake, he stuck out for a long old time with what I believe was mentioned earlier on was floor damage. It's far greater than anything he's going to gain down the start-finish straight. Here we go, though, through the final turn. He's gone sideways. That's initially going to lose him time. For now, he pulls up alongside and past the AI-driven V-car.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. And now on the podium, he's got one hand on P3. F1 Scott now going wheel to wheel with Noiguera through turn 1, and the Mercedes defiantly trying to get past that Kick Sauber car. They're going to run wheel to wheel through the first sector again. Scott now reneging, but ultimately trying the switch back. No, not at all. We now once again have a duel happening. Oh, wow. Hey, car of Tom97 right in between. They're going to go 3 wide, heading through towards turn 1. Noiguera and F1 Scott both unseated by Peg.
Oh!
Noiguera very nearly losing the car altogether, but somehow, some way, keeps his car ahead of F1 Scott here at this point as we run on board with Tom97's AI. F1 Scott now in 6th. Noiguera somehow keeping Scott behind despite the tail snapping on that Mercedes. It's not going to be the same this time. Rikirikon, though, unfortunately retiring. So that is now 4 cars out of the race as well alike. So it's been a good race so far for Scott with every chance. Oh, wow. Noiguera with a huge tank slapper coming through that portion of circuit there, unsteadying the Mercedes, losing that rear end. And Tom97 has taken 4th place away from Noiguera now. It was oh so simple after that error, and they're heading through towards the next left. Tom97 with 5/10 at his disposal.
Not very much in the end because, oh dear, Tom97.
No.
That reminds me of a season or 2 ago. He did the exact same thing at the exact same corner, just took it too tightly, jumped over the apex, and that then nets him a 3-second time penalty. So what has been a very valiant drive to close up to the back of Ben Daly is now going to be something where if they do end up passing, which I suspect they will, they're then going to need an additional 3 seconds worth of time on them. Good moments for Rasin, but ultimately strategy hasn't gone there. What on earth has happened there? That's a big retirement. Both the V-Cubs have taken each other out. That's out the final turn. One of them was sideways, the other one's gone straight into them. We saw the briefest of glimpses of that as we switched to a camera angle that looked down the start-finish straight, where one of the cars was pointed sideways before the contact was made. And oh my giddy aunt, that is insult to injury. And now a good race run through the final turn. And now up to the line will come Alex Gillen to take a win for Haas in this latest season of Creator Series.
Yep, it will be as he crosses the line. His first win this season, his 2nd podium of the campaign. Coming across the line, El Rey Guri, a perfect 3 podiums to kickstart his campaign, and no doubt will still maintain his lead in the championship. And then coming up towards the line, following suit, a tremendous drive from Tiamat Marduk, who finishes in 3rd place. A magnificent drive on his part too, his first podium of the season, with Noiguera finishing in 4th. Rasin Chai drops to 6th with Matty D No penalties going against his name, meaning he finishes in P5. Scott in 7th, Sapso in 8th. Curbs comes across the line to finish in P9 on track, but it will go to Infratic due to the penalty count. JD Devil Noob has got to finish the lap in his own right. Will, of course, finish in 11th place. Be Good will finish in 12th, or it might yet be, in fact, he will finish 13th because Gwatz is only with 3 seconds of time penalties. Be Good has got 9 seconds. Jack Socials, in his very first appearance in the Creator Series, will finish 14th and will claim his first points of the season. Alex Gillen, no bottles now. We're bringing it home. So there you go. Alex Gillen in style, taking victory here at Losail.